The armies of ancient India are massing on the plains of Kurukshetra. Millions of men, thousands of chariots, and the greatest warriors of the age align for an 18-day war that will leave the subcontinent in ruins. But out of the dense forests to the south, a lone warrior is marching toward the front lines. If he draws his bow, this massive 18-day meat grinder will be over in exactly 1 minute. His name is Barbarik. While he is the grandson of the mighty Pandava, Bhima, he brings a threat far beyond muscle or bone. He carries a quiver containing just 3 specific arrows. These 3 pieces of wood act as an autonomous weapon system. They render traditional infantry, strategy, and combat formations obsolete. This diagram shows exactly how his weapon system operates. The first arrow acts as a targeting laser, marking all enemies. The second arrow drops a protective shield over his allies. And the third arrow sweeps the field, annihilating only the marked targets. It is an automated execution protocol, but the system has a fatal, hard-coded parameter. Before leaving home, Barbarik made a binding vow to his mother. He will only ever fight for the losing side. Because his power is absolute, the moment he joins the weaker army, they instantly become the stronger army. To keep his vow, he must immediately switch sides and attack his former allies. It creates an endless oscillation. He is forced to jump back and forth, firing arrows to equalize the battlefield, over and over, until the mathematical equation balances out at 0. By swearing to protect the weak, he inadvertently engineered an apocalyptic loop. If he steps onto the field, no one survives. Lord Krishna, the divine strategist of the Mahabharata, calculates this threat immediately. Disguised as a humble Brahmin, he intercepts the young warrior on the road. The disguised Krishna challenges Barbarik's confidence, pointing to a massive banyan tree. He tells him to pierce every single leaf on the tree with just 1 arrow. Barbarik fires. As the arrow zips through the canopy, tagging leaf after leaf, Krishna quietly slides his foot over a fallen leaf to hide it. The arrow finishes the branches, then darts toward the earth. It doesn't stop. It aggressively hovers right above Krishna's foot, demanding he move so it can complete its targeted sequence. The magic is absolute. This test proves to Krishna that if Barbarik enters the battlefield, the destruction of the universe is a mathematical guarantee. Krishna drops the disguise. He lays out the terrifying paradox of the vow, showing Barbarik that his presence will eradicate both the armies he came to save. To prevent this reality crash, Krishna asks for the highest possible price. Barbarik must surrender his own head, right now, before the battle horn sounds. The warrior doesn't draw his bow. He doesn't argue. He looks at the divine logic and instantly recognizes that his absence is the only thing that will save millions of lives. He cuts off his own head, but he makes one final request. Krishna places the living severed head high on a nearby hill so Barbarik can watch the entire 18-day spectacle unfold below. The most powerful entity on the continent secures the safety of the world by willingly removing himself from the board. 18 days later, the war is over. The Pandava brothers, having survived the carnage, stand victorious and immediately begin arguing out of pure pride over whose combat skills actually won the war. Krishna walks them up the hill to the only impartial witness left. Barbarik's severed head has watched every sword swing, every chariot charge, and every fallen soldier. When asked who was the greatest, the head just laughs. He tells the brothers their weapons were irrelevant. He saw only one thing on that battlefield, Krishna's divine will, orchestrating every single movement and securing the victory. For this absolute clarity, Krishna grants the head a permanent boon. In the coming Dark Age, the Kali Yuga, Barbarik will be worshipped directly as Shyam, bearing Krishna's own name. By seeing past mortal ego to recognize divine truth, the warrior was elevated into a timeless deity. Fast forward to the year 1027 in the deserts of Rajasthan. A local king experiences a vivid dream that leads his people to dig into a local pond, pulling up a dark stone idol of Barbarik's head. Today, that exact spot in Ringas draws oceans of people. millions of pilgrims flood the streets for his annual festival, forming a crowd that rivals the scale of the ancient armies he once watched. They come with intense devotion, performing elaborate arti ceremonies and seeking healing from a god who intimately understands the mechanics of sacrifice. They call him Hare Ka Sahara, the savior of the defeated. The ancient vow he made to always support the losing side now serves as a modern promise to uplift those who are broken or beaten down by life. Khatu Shyam's eternal legacy proves that supreme strength is achieved through the total surrender of individual power to a higher purpose.